When you think of a radio transmitter, what comes to mind? Probably just a big box, right? Something that takes a signal and just makes it louder. But honestly, the reality today is so much cooler. Modern FM transmitters, they're these super sophisticated pieces of high-tech hardware. They're actually inspired as much by what's in an IT server room as they are by old-school RF engineering. It's pretty wild. So let's dive in and see what's really going on inside.
All right, just a quick note before we jump in. Everything we're talking about today is part of a much larger series. This is part 5 of a 40-part deep dive into modern broadcast transmission, put together by the folks at Virtualization Options LLC. We're really zeroing in on the architecture of a modern FM transmitter. So, you ever really stop and think about it? What is actually happening inside that box that powers your favorite radio station? I mean, how does the music you hear in the studio, how does that get turned into this powerful wave that can literally travel for miles and miles? Well, that's the exact journey we're going to follow today. We're going to go from a simple audio signal all the way to a full-blown, broadcast-ready wave.
Yeah, we all see the big antenna towers, right? They're hard to miss. But the real magic, that starts way before the signal ever hits that tower. It all begins deep inside the transmitter. And this is a place where just incredible digital precision meets some serious raw power. So let's start at the very beginning, with a component that's basically the brain of this whole operation. Okay, so the first stop on our signals journey is right here, the digital exciter. And seriously, the best way to think about this is as the transmitter's brain. This is where the raw audio comes in and gets its entire identity. It's where it gets all prepped and ready for its big journey to the airwaves. And trust me, this is not your grandpa's old analog circuitry we're talking about. Nope. This is a completely digital, super intelligent system.
And what's just nuts is how much stuff is packed into this one digital component. I mean, look at this. These modern exciters, they give you rock-solid perfect frequency stability. But they also handle, well, everything. From creating the stereo signal to encoding the artist and song title that you see pop up on your car's display. That's RDS. They can even generate the sidebands for HD radio. And to top it all off, you can control them remotely over a network, just like any other IT device. It's incredible.
So you're probably wondering, how in the world does it do all that? Well, it's basically a 4-step process. Step 1, the audio comes in from the studio. If it's still analog, no problem. High-res converters turn it into digital bits and bytes. Then, and this is the really cool part, powerful digital signal processors or DSPs take over. They create the entire complex FM signal using nothing but pure math. It's all done in the digital domain. And finally, that perfect digital blueprint is used to generate a flawless, low-power RF signal. And now it's ready for the next stage.
Okay, so we've got this beautiful, pristine, but very low-power signal from the exciter. Now, it needs some muscle. A lot of muscle. And that's where the power amplifiers come in. This is the part of the journey where our little signal goes from a whisper to a full-throated shout, getting amplified up to the massive power levels we need for broadcast.
And this right here shows you what a massive technological leap we've made. I mean, gone are the days of those huge, glowing, high-voltage vacuum tubes. The ones that were a single point of failure. If one went out, you were off the air. Period. Today, it's all about solid-state LDMOS transistors, all neatly organized into modules. It's a total shift in thinking, from one giant, fragile component to a whole team of smaller, more robust, and way, way safer ones. And this whole modular design idea, it's straight out of the IT playbook. It's all about redundancy. It's all about uptime. Think about it. If one little amplifier module fails, the others just pick up the slack. The station stays on the air. Yeah, maybe it's slightly reduced power, but it's still broadcasting. And then an engineer can come in and literally hot swap the broken module for a new one while the transmitter is still running. You don't have to go offline. That is an absolute game changer for reliability.
And yeah, the source material just nails it with this quote. This design is just like having redundant power supplies in a server rack or failover systems in a big data network. It's exactly the same principle. And that's the key takeaway here. This convergence of broadcast and IT thinking is what defines a modern transmitter. It's what makes them so unbelievably robust.
All right, so our signal has its identity, and it has its power. It's almost ready. But before we can send it on its way to the antenna, it has to get through a couple of final, really critical stages. We need some protection and a little bit of final polish, because you can't just blast raw power up the tower, right? It has to be clean, and most importantly, it has to be safe.
So what's the biggest threat to a transmitter? Well, believe it or not, it's itself. It's its own power being reflected right back at it. This can happen if there's a problem with the antenna system, say ice built up on the tower or a connector gets loose. This reflected power, we measure it as VSWR, and if that number gets too high, it can literally fry those super expensive power amplifiers.
So how does a modern transmitter defend itself? It's got this really clever, intelligent system called VSWR foldback. It's constantly watching for any of that reflected power, and if it senses a dangerous level, it automatically and instantly reduces the transmitter's output power down to a safe level. It protects the hardware, but it keeps the station on the air. It's kind of like a smart circuit breaker, but instead of just tripping and shutting everything down, it intelligently throttles back to keep things running safely. We're almost there. Just 2 last steps before our signal is ready for the world. First, all that power from all those individual amplifier modules, it has to be brought together, merged into one single powerful stream. That's done by a device called a combiner. Then, that combined signal goes through one last quality control check. It passes through a harmonic filter, which is basically a superfine cleaner that scrubs away any unwanted radio junk. This makes absolutely sure that the signal heading up to the antenna is incredibly pure and meets all those strict government regulations.
And that's it. Our signal's journey inside the transmitter is complete. Just think about what it's been through. Created with total digital precision, amplified with redundant, fail-safe power, protected by smart, self-aware systems, and polished to absolute perfection. Now, and only now, is it ready for that final leap, up to the antenna and out to all of us.
So let's just quickly recap that path. It's really 4 main stages, right? First is creation, where the digital exciter forges the signal's identity. Then comes amplification, where those modular amps provide all the muscle. After that, it's guarded by the protection of the VSWR foldback system, and finally, it gets that last polish from the filters to make sure it's perfectly clean and compliant. From a simple piece of audio to a powerful, protected broadcast wave. Pretty cool.
You know, this whole journey really shows us something fundamental. The modern FM transmitter, it's just as much an IT device as it is an RF device. It's built on these core IT principles: digital processing, redundancy, network management. So it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As this convergence just keeps accelerating, what's next? What part of broadcasting is going to be the next thing to be totally transformed by these IT principles? Something to think about.